Alright, so right now I'm foot to board, stepping on the X, and this is the RPM that I'm moving. Basically nothing. Alright, so the check light is on, and I'm stepping on the X all the way, and I'm losing power, basically. And I'm not going anywhere. And I'm only going 20 kilometers per hour. So let's make it back to the shop. Alright, so I put a scan tool on this vehicle, and I got a P012B code and a P0237 code. But before I do anything, I'm going to inspect this air filter, because these air filters is known to collapse and block off the mass airflow. And while I'm at it, I'm going to clean the mass airflow. As you see, the condition of the air filter is really black, so I'm just going to inform the customer that I'm replacing it while I'm there, right? So I'm going to clean the mass airflow before I go after that pressure inlet sensor that tends to, you know, get sticky from time to time, right? So once all is clear, I'm going to use some little contact cleaner, spray it out, and then we're going to put that back in, right? And then we're going to go after that sensor, right? But this air filter is known for collapsing and blocking off the mass airflow and starving the vehicle for air, and cause it to go into like a limp mode also, right? Right, so what I'm seeing there, right, I'm not sure if you can see properly, right, you're seeing a lot of oil on that hose from the going to the intercooler. So I believe that may be the cause. If the oil is contaminating the inlet pressure sensor, that can, you know, cause it to mess up. This is the intercooler hose here. You're seeing all that oil basically on the hose, but also this sensor is tapped into that hose, right? So we're gonna take that sensor off, clean it up. We're just gonna clean up and make sure that it have no oil residue or anything like that on it, and then we're gonna take this vehicle back for a spin and see if we can, you know, get rid of that code. If not, we have to replace it, as I said, do our checks for power and ground, and that should be it when it comes to the inlet pressure sensor. Right, so we're gonna reach down and remove the key off, engine off. I'm gonna remove this sensor. I have a little hose, a little 1/4-inch hose that's beyond it. Alright, so I remove the sensor from, let me see if I can get you closer. So basically the sensor is be kind of dark. It's be right on the hose on that bracket. And so seeing that I'm seeing a lot of oil under the undercarriage here, I'm gonna take off this panel, drop this panel also, so I can inspect the intercooler and see if I see any kind of cracks in the, or any holes in the cooler hose or intercooler, and cause it, and see why is it causing the, you know, that code to keep coming up. You know, if the sensor is failing, it must have a reason. I don't want to say it's a faulty sensor, but it can be also because, you know, because we have a crack in the intercooler and have the sensor underperforming. So let me drop this off and then we'll check it out. Alright, so we took off the undershield here so I can inspect the intercooler, look for any cracks. I'm seeing oil from the intake, right? Could be from, like, let's say a little slight back pressure from the engine, right? As I said, I'm just looking for any kind of cracks along the hose or the intercooler itself, and trying to figure out why is it triggering this P012B code. Okay, what else can we check before we clear that code? Because it feels like, you know, the vehicle is going into a limp mode. Like you're stepping on the X and you're not getting no power at all. As I said, man, it could be a slight crack in the intercooler that's throwing off the pressure, or it can be a back, you know, probably a back pressure from the engine itself. I'm not sure. So let's put this back up. Right, like this. Yeah, so this is the intake boost pressure sensor. It looked like a map sensor, but it's not a map sensor, right? So as you can tell, it's partially blocked, right? So I'm going to clean that out and pop back in. We should be good from there. But don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button too, man. Thanks. All right, so with the sensor cleaned, check light is still on, right? I make sure it had no like debris or anything to block the pressure going to the sensor. And basically I smoked the intercooler also, and didn't have any. Right, so I got this code because I had it unplugged, right? Checking it, so I'm gonna just clear the code. Want to read it again. If it comes back up, then we have fault. If not, you know, I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna look for that sensor. So I'm gonna take it for a run and see if it make a difference. If not, so we're gonna have to change that sensor out. Where are you? I'm looking for that sensor. I'm not looking for. I'm just gonna take some info while I'm at it too. So the IAT is 5 volts. Okay, I have the key on engine off. Let's start the vehicle and see if it drops. I don't believe that IAT sensor 2 is supposed to be saying 5 volts. Could be wrong. Why is it not pulling down? Where's the IAT? And this vehicle. Let's see. The check light is off. But I want to know why the IAT sensor 2 is saying that it's at 5 volts. Isn't it supposed to drop? I'm not sure. Intake volume, air volume. What is this? Fuel temperature, IAT sensor 2 is saying 5 volt. As I said, man, I'm not sure. So let's take the vehicle for a run and see if what we did make any difference. What else do I need to see? Vehicle speed sensor. Let's graph this. I gotta look that up and see why am I reading 5 volts. So before I wasn't getting to past 3,000 RPM, and now I am. So let's take it for a spin and see if I'm getting what I'm supposed to be getting. So RPM came back. I got the torque again. So I'm hoping that should be the fix. If not, as I said, I gotta go after that sensor. Right, as I said, I believe that it's not a circuit issue. It could be a faulty sensor, could be like debris, or probably a crack in the intercooler, which I did check for. So I believe that is a fix. So all I did was clean the sensor out for some electrical spray, and I believe that's it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, you know, leave a criticism in the box. Until next time, take it easy.